Guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family and had the power of destruction. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of this series. For the next part, the like goal is going to be 60 comments and 150 likes. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. And yeah guys, I have also uploaded another series which is pretty good if you guys ask me, as it is going to be what if Naruto was neglected and banished and had dark arts. So yeah guys, that is pretty interesting series. So if you guys were to watch it, you guys will definitely like it. So please guys watch it out. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. But before starting it, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel and if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me, as I want to reach 13k as soon as possible. And if you guys were to help me, it would be, you can say, pretty good for me. So yeah guys, please subscribe. And yeah guys, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below, so please follow me on Instagram, and also the link of my other channel in the description below as well, so please watch it as well. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. So last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto graduated from the academy and how the Shinobi Council and the civilian and the elders were pretty shocked and scared at that, while the elders were making plans to how to bring Naruto to their own side. After all, they realized that he had tremendous potential and it would be really helpful for them to have him on their side, while on the other hand Danzo was making plans to recruit him in his route, while on the other hand the civilian and the Shinobi Council members were scared a little bit, especially people like Sum Inuzuka, whose air was simply tossed into the nearby dustbin like it was nothing but trash, which brought a lot of, you can say, chuckling and laughs from many of the members who were laughing at her clan, as she got pretty furious at that. While on the other hand, Naruto broke the bones in the bodies of both Menma and Ruko, as he was declared as the clan heir, as Minato was also pretty shocked to see that, as Jiraiya said that how they have to do something and bring the title back to Menma and Ruko, and as Minato and and Kushina should reject Naruto's being the heir, but Minato reminded him that how it was done in the present in a duel in the presence of the council, and it can only be reversed in the presence of the council and in the same type of duel, and he simply cannot return the title like he was returning a trophy or something like that, as Jiraiya was pretty furious at that, as when he tried to challenge it in the whole council, the elders supported that, and the clan heads also do it reluctantly, knowing that it would bring a lot of trouble for them in the future if they were to not support such a claim. After all, it was done in front of them, and they have to keep the honor of their respective clans, as Jiraiya was pretty furious at that, while Minato wanted to protect after the suggestion by the civilian council members Naruto into the reserves, but the order of the five daimyo came to bring Naruto to be the, you can say, in the marriage contract with his daughter. While on the other hand, Naruto has finally met with the Kyuubi and gave him an offer to be his personal summon, and in return he will grant him power greater than his previous power, as Kyuubi laughed it off first, but when Naruto showed him his power and granted it to him, Kyuubi was shocked when a tiny tail appeared from his back. His power was so great that he could take on even the original Juubi anytime he wished, as he was that powerful, as a Rinne Sharingan appeared in his forehead, full with the power of destruction. His chakra also you can say reappeared, and it was so much greater than before. He felt like he could take on all the bijus and even the Juubi at the same time. He felt like he was the strongest being on the planet, but when he looked towards his master, his new master, Naruto Uzumaki, he felt fear and respect for this person who granted him only a portion of his power, and yet he felt like he could take on anyone. So he kneeled in front of him and vowed allegiance to Naruto, and that was the last part. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. So yeah guys, I'm going to start my video with Naruto finally entering into the Namakase and Uzumaki household, while on the other hand, Naruto looked forward to see Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Kushina were sitting on it, as Minato was giving Naruto a, you can say, blank expression, as Kushina had an angry expression on her face, but she was still calmed down by Tsunade, as Tsunade and, you can say, Jiraiya were giving him a disapproving look. as Naruto simply looked towards them with a blank expression and simply started to walk away like he didn't even saw them. As Jiraiya speak up, "Hey brat, we are sitting here. You should say hello. Do you have no manners, huh? Well, it only proves that how much better Menma and Naruto were actually were to you. To think that you are now the heir to the Namakase clan, you won't only bring shame to it. So you should give it up right now." As he glared towards Naruto, as Naruto looked towards him. Did you say something? At this, Jiraiya was almost more than ready to slam a Rasengan into the brat, as he was already pretty angry as he paid a visit to his godchildren, and seeing them in that situation brought pretty much anger to him. And people were now talking on the street, saying that how the training of the Sanis and Minato and Kushina, it seemed that Melma and Ruko were not as great as they thought, and that was seriously bringing a serious trouble to his plan for the future of Menma and Naruto. After all, they are supposed to be recognized as the heroes when the time comes so that they can save the world and people could support it, and this brat was putting a lot of hindrance into it. It seemed that he was a serious threat to his plan as he glared towards Naruto, but Tsunade caught him. "Jiraiya, calm down." Jiraiya glared towards her for some time, but calmed down nonetheless as before Kushina could speak or say anything, Minato speak up. "Well, Naruto, you do realize that we need to talk about the whole situation, don't you?" As Naruto simply looked towards him with a shrug. "What do you have to say, father?" As he said it in a manner like he was mocking him. But Minato ignored it as he said, "Well, Naruto, as you can already see in the previous situation, we did not, you can say, realize that the situation would come to this, as we knew that about your situation and about the whole village. But you also have to realize that it was done with many things in mind, and now that you have become a shinobi, you should also realize that no matter what the situation would actually be, the village always comes first, and you have to make sacrifices for the good of the village." As Minato was trying to make sure that Naruto realized that what was done to him was done because you can say it was good for the village, and as a shinobi, he should accept it and move on. As Naruto wanted to glare at Hakai, this buffoon, out of existence, but he calmed down a little as he said, "Well, I already knew about the whole village come first things. Well, Minato nodded at that, and now that you have become a clan heir, I would like to tell you that you would soon be put in a team, and I would also like to inform you that the Fire Daimyo had decided to choose you as its son-in-law." As not to raise an eyebrow, "Fire Daimyo, huh?" Well, what son-in-law he was talking about? As Minato, seeing the confused expression on Naruto's face, told him about the marriage contract, as Naruto did not care much about a civilian weak girl. After all, she was, what, a daughter of a fire daimyo? Well, to be honest, he did not care. He was a destroyer. He could Hakai the whole continent out of the existence if he so desire. What is a small, you can say, ruler of a country's daughter to him? But maybe he could use it in his advantage in his future plans. Yeah, that will definitely be taking over the Fire Nation would be easy through that. Maybe he should give it a small thought, huh? Well, anyways, he looked towards him. I will think about it. As Tsunade speak up, already having more than enough of the attitude of the kid. "Well, Brat, what is there to think about it? You will bow down to the will of the Fire Daimyo and the will of your Hokage. Minato has accepted it. So now, be grateful and don't be ungrateful, bitchy brat." As she glared towards him with a heated look. As Naruto looked towards her. Did you say something?" At this, Tsunade wanted to punch the brat out of the house, as Minato gave Naruto and Tsunade a look. "That is enough, Tsunade. Naruto, you also." As you can think about it if you so desire, but anyways, you must know that the decision is certain. And I would also like to talk about the things you have done to your sibling. I must tell you, Naruto, I am a lot disappointed in you. That was not the behavior I was expecting from you. I knew that you were a bit jealous of your siblings and their talent, but you should not have done that. As Naruto simply looked towards him, as Naruto was wondering if he had selective seeing and hearing. As Naruto looked towards him, "Well, they gave me a challenge. I accept it. Broke their bones and threw them outside of the ring like the trash they were. What is more there to discuss?" As Kushina wanted to launch towards Naruto and teach him a lesson, but she was reigning in her anger as she only glared towards him. "Do not talk about your siblings in such a manner, Naruto. I have raised you better than that." As Jiraiya speak up, what you're expecting, Kushina? He's just a disappointment. As I'm telling you right now, you should seriously return the title to Menma Naruko and be done with it. After all, he's just going to be a disappointment. As Naruto looked towards him, as he gave him a smirk, as this infuriated Jiraiya further, and intrigue him. As Naruto said, you're speaking as if she has the authority to return the title, Jiraiya. Do not take me a fool. I already know everything about the clan laws. First of all, they were not even given the title in according to the law, but I accepted it because I did not care much about it. But since they have challenged me and lost the title, which means that it can only be returned if they were to win in a duel against me. So seriously, take your threats and shove it. At this, Jiraiya was now seriously angered towards him as Minato speak up. Naruto, do not talk to the sensei in such a manner. As Naruto gave him a look, like seriously. As Naruto looked towards him, I already have more than enough of the discussion of this. I do not want to see Manma and Naruto in this house. As after that, he started to walk away, but Jiraiya appeared in front of Naruto with a heated glare towards him. What did you just said, brat? As Naruto looked towards him and gave him a smirk. I know everything about the law, as I told you before. Menma and Naruto has lost their title, and according to the law, you and I both know what that means. Since they have lost the title of the heir, they are hereby exiled from the clans. At this, Jiraiya had a Rasengan in his hand in an instant. He was about to slam it to Naruto, but to his utter surprise, Naruto grabbed his fist and looked directly into his eyes. Try that, and I will show you something even better than the Rasengan, as Naruto had a Hakai ball in his hand, ready to erase this buffoon who was on his face. As Minato stood up, that is enough. As he looked towards both of them, releasing a bit of killing intent, but Naruto was not affected by it whatsoever, as Jiraiya was glaring towards Naruto, trying to, you can say, push his authority, but Naruto was looking towards him like he was a buffoon, which angered Jiraiya even further. As Naruto looked towards him, you heard me, Jiraiya. Now get out of my sight. You are in my house and I am the heir to the both clans. So, like it or not, you're not exactly welcome here. You know, orphan. As Jiraiya, this pumped Jiraiya's blood even further as he tried to pump chakra into his Rasengan, but Naruto looked towards the Rasengan and just like that, it vanishes into purple energy and disintegrated into nothingness. This shocked Jiraiya as well as Minato and Kushina as Naruto looked towards him. Now get out of my sight, you fucking weakling. As after saying that, he simply walked away. He was 2 seconds away to Hakai all of these four buffoons out of his side, as Jiraiya was pretty shocked and angered by it all, as Minato wanted to ask questions about whatever Naruto did. How did he erase the Rasengan in such a manner? After all, it was his prize technique and he wanted to know everything about it, as Jiraiya was glaring daggers towards Naruto as he was about to say something as Minato said, I know Jiraiya, what are you talking about? And I will think about it and talk to the clan heads. You know the situation of Menma and Naruto. They may no longer be part of the Uzumaki and Namakate clan, but they are still going to live here because they are the village Jinchuriki and my children as well. And do not talk to Naruto about it. After all, it is a matter of the council and we will discuss it in the council. I'm pretty sure that some clans will try to make claims on them. We have to worry about it. Ignore Naruto for the moment. At this, Jiraiya gritted his teeth but nodded nonetheless. He will teach that disappointment a lesson soon enough. As Naruto finally appeared in his room, he really wanted to get rid of those four buffoons, but he calmed himself down a little bit. Who was he to threaten him with such a weak attack? Like that attack was actually going to hurt him, as Naruto simply scoffed at that. For the good of the village, as if he cared about the whole village thing. As he calmed himself down a little and think about the whole, you could say, five Daimyo daughter. He wanted to see who she actually was. So he vanishes from the whole area and appeared in the fire, you can say, capital, like it was nothing. Within seconds, he was there with such blinding speed and flight. He was able to reach it within, you can say, a minute as he appeared to see who she was actually was. As he was able to notice her. Well, in first look, she was attractive and good looking. She had blonde hair and blue eyes, very like his father, but different shades. But one thing he quickly noticed that how spoiled she actually was. Like a fangirl, most likely she saw his fight and became a fangirl and used her father's wealth to get him like he was just prize. As he simply scoffed at that. He observed her for some time but decided to leave after he realized that how spoiled she actually was, as he had to, you can say, do something about the situation, as she was punishing some, you can say, maid for spilling some water onto her dress, and in such a brutal manner as he simply scoffed and decided to leave. But then he noticed something. Two signatures of great energy, great chakra signatures, were present at a nearby planet as he looked into the sky, and the planet was getting weaker and weaker at every second as he narrowed his eyes, as he could feel, thanks to his connection to the destruction, the planet was about to destroy itself in few hours if it's not noticed. And then he noticed another weaker signature present on the planet as well, as he vanishes into the sky as he moved at such a hypersonic speed that he was out of the atmosphere within minutes, and now he was reaching to the planet. And just like that, just as he figured he could easily breathe in the whole atmosphere. Thanks to his, you can say, destruction energy, he was able to reach to the planet, and just like he thought, the planet was at the brink of destruction as he finally appeared in the whole area to see a gigantic monster. It has 10 tails behind it as he was roaring and launching bombs after bombs. But he noticed the other three signatures. One was getting weaker and weaker, while on the other hand, the other one was simply at back like he was some kind of royalty. These were Otsutsuki's. It seemed that this planet has a, you can say, so-called god tree, and it had transformed into the Juubi. And the other weaker person whose signature was getting weaker was actually a Otsutsuki girl. She had blonde hair and Byakugan eyes in her eyes, and she was trying to fight off a, you can say, a fat figure who was attacking her from all directions, as she was losing pretty badly. As Naruto watched it for some time, as he narrowed his gaze, the other person looked towards him. Who are you, human? As Naruto looked towards him, pretty interesting creatures you are. If I must say, you also have great amount of chakra inside of you. Well, not that impressive, if I must say, compared to my own, but still good enough, as a voice appeared in his forehead, as it was none other than Kurama, Naruto-sama. It seemed that these were Otsutsuki's, my creator and my father. Hagoromo Otsutsuki was also a half Otsutsuki. His mother was a pure one. And it seemed that that beast is actually the Juubi, which has appeared in this world thanks to the help of the God Tree, so-called God Tree, as Naruto narrowed his gaze. So that is the Juubi, huh? Well, it's about damn time you test your power, Kurama. Wouldn't you agree? As Kurama had a devilish smirk on his face as not to go through handside, summoning Shutsu. And just like that, a gigantic cloak of flames appeared as a purple energy surrounded the whole area, and in a puff of dark purple, you can say flames, a beast appeared. It even shadowed over the Juubi as Juubi looked towards him with a growl and narrow of his gaze, while on the other hand, two Otsutskis who were fighting stopped their fight, and the other one who was left behind has his eyes narrowed towards Naruto. Whatever this beast was, it also had 10 tails. It was like a fox creature, and the thing which caught his attention was the Rinne's Sharingan on his forehead, as Kurama had a smirk on his face as he lunged towards the Juubi and grabbed him through his tails and threw him in the opposite direction of the planet and lunged towards him, while on the other hand, Naruto simply looked towards him. Have your fun. As he looked toward the other Otsutskis, as Naruto vanishes and appeared in front of the fat one who was about to deliver a punch to the lady Otsutsuki. As Naruto grabbed the punch, I must say, you're pretty weak. As Naruto flicked him on his forehead, sending him flying at the hypersonic speed into a nearby mountain, destroying it further. As Naruto looked back towards the Otsutsuki who was panting, as she had, you can say, the normal Otsutsuki characters. As Naruto looked towards her for some time, he must say she was quite attractive, as he looked towards her as she had a wound on her stomach as Naruto grabbed her. Who are you, woman? As the woman was panting, you must leave from here. Those Otsutskis, those are the Otsutskis, they're trying to feed me off to that Jubi so that they can get the chakra fruit. as Naruto narrowed his gaze. So that is the ritual, huh? As he looked toward the other Otsutsuki, as Naruto put a hand to this figure, this lady. It seemed that her name was Kia Otsutsuki, and she was one of the weaker members, and they wanted her to feed to the Juubi as well as the whole rituals of the Otsutsuki, all the information of the Otsutsuki's planet and their agenda and all of it, as not to simply, let's just say, download it from her mind, as it was pretty easy for him, as he raised an eyebrow. Well, that was pretty interesting, huh? As he simply, you can say, put her into a nearby area. The wound was pretty bad, but unfortunately for her, Naruto did not know any healing power. After all, his main power was destruction, and that does not come with a lot of healing abilities. Well, for him, not for others. As he looked towards the two figure, as the fat one came out of the nearby mountain, he had some scratches and some wounds. As Naruto looked towards them, as he said, well, I must say that I did not had a good fight for some time, so I will hold back. Try to make this fight a bit interesting as they look back to see the form of Juubi being thrown around like it was just a ball. As the Ususkis narrowed their eyes as the previous one spoke up. Who is that creature? I must say that I have never seen such a creature. It also has 10 tails, but he is different. As Naruto looked towards him, do not worry about him. Let's just say that he's a good friend and he's having his fun. So let us have some fun as well as Naruto vanished from the eyes of the Utsutskis as the eyes of the Utsutsuki shifted to the Rinnegan and the Rinne Sharingan respectively. And the fat one spoke Shinra Tensai as he released a gravitational force towards Naruto, expecting him to be slammed into a nearby mountain. But to his surprise, Naruto tore through the force like it was not even present there. Try to make it a bit fun. Ususuke is Naruto appeared in front of him and grabbed him by his face as he vanishes in hypersonic speed as the other one could not even, you can say, register the speed, and Fat Ones was slammed into a nearby mountain with such a speed that the mountain exploded as Naruto plunged him into the ground at such a speed that his bones shattered as a voice could be heard, while on the other hand, the Ususuke could not believe his eyes as even Kia's eyes widened as she could not believe it. How was this even possible? Those two were the elites of the Ususuke clan. Well, not that higher up, but still pretty stronger than her. And many members. And that one, Naruto simply, you can say, grab him by his neck. He was already broken as Naruto looked towards him. You bored me, Hakai. And just like that, the person simply vanishes as her Byakugan could see something was wrong. He simply did not die. No, whatever that energy was, it has simply erased him. Like he was not even ever alive to begin with, as even that other Otsutsuki had his eyes narrowed and a bit of fear was in his heart. Whatever that energy was, it was really dangerous. He has to be careful about the situation. As finally, you can say Naruto appeared in front of him. Are you any better than him? If you're not, I will end you here. As the Otsutsuki narrowed his eyes as he released a gigantic flame from his Rinne Sharingan in his hand towards Naruto as Naruto looked toward the flame as a purple energy surrounded him, and just like that the flame made contact with him as the Otsutsuki pumped more and more chakra into it, changing its color into pure utter black flames of Amaterasu as he smirked at that should take care of that human, as he was ever strong enough to be greater than that of an but before he could complete his sentence, is that all? As a voice could be heard, as when all of it was cleared out, as Naruto was surrounded with purple energy, as it has disintegrated even the Amaterasu flames into nothingness, as Naruto simply looked towards him. That was anticlimactic, if I must say. If you have any other jutsus, use it now, because I'm going to end it right here and right now. You bored me. As you look back to see the Juubi's, you can say, bleeding form, as Kurama was feeding on the Juubi, and its size was getting greater and greater. It seemed that his pet could get even stronger, as Naruto thought in his mind. As he looked back toward the Utsutsuki, who was now scared, as Naruto looked towards him, wait, Kurama. As Kurama stopped at that, as Naruto grabbed him from his neck. So you do feed your members to the Juubi so that it can convert into the form of a chakra fruit, huh? I'm intrigued. As Naruto looked towards Kurama, as Kurama nodded and you can say opened the mouth of the Juubi as Naruto threw the Otsutsuki at such a speed that he went straight into the mouth of the Juubi as he was screaming no, but it was already too late as Kurama forced the Juubi to eat him. And just like that, the Juubi screamed as it started to change into, you can say, shrink and even further in shrink. It turned into a fruit as Naruto looked towards the fruit. It had good amount of chakra, well, even greater than that of a planet. And it seemed that this planet was about to be exploded. As Naruto looked towards Kurama, hey, Kurama, migrate. As Kurama smirked as he opened his mouth, and just like that, the fruit went into his as Kurama's eyes suddenly snapped open. His true, you can say, Renish Sharingan started to spin rapidly as it started to change color into dark purplish as well as it started to change into like a Mangekyo form of a Sharingan as his size started to grow even further as he let out a hole of power. His chakra skyrocketed even further as Naruto looked towards him. Well, it seemed that his pact was getting stronger. Well, that was a good thing for him. And just like that, the planet exploded and Naruto at the center of it all. As good thing Kurama has decided to dispel itself, otherwise, no matter how powerful he was, he would have been destroyed with the destruction energy that has surrounded the planet. But good thing for Naruto as Naruto looked towards his body and when the destruction happened, as suddenly his energy of destruction has skyrocketed. As he raised an eyebrow, he did not knew about it, and just like that, the planet exploded. But he was not even harmed as he looked towards his hand, as it seemed that with the destruction of the planet and he was at the center of it all, his energy of destruction somehow made a connection and it has increased even further, which means that the amount of destruction he caused, he will get even stronger, huh? Well, that was interesting. As he vanishes from the area and decided to come back to the planet. Good thing he has teleported, you can say, thanks to a small ability of Kurama that Kia Otsutsuki as well, as he decided to come back to the planet as now he was looking towards Kia Otsutsuki, who still had her wound, as Naruto looked towards her. Hmm, maybe should have kept a small piece of the chakra fruit so that she could get healed by it, but now it was way too late for her. As Kia looked towards him, I must thank you for saving me. I do not know who you are, but I must say you are a, one of the strongest beings I have seen in the whole universe. As Naruto looked towards her, well, that may be the case, but I still cannot save you. I do not have the healing abilities to give you. Well, I do have my own, but that will not help you. And if anything, it will destroy you. As Kia simply nodded at that, I know that I'm going to die. With this wound, I cannot save myself. If only I had a karma mark or some human to put the karma mark on it. And with that word, Naruto's, you can say, gear in his mind started to move forward as a smirk came to his face. Well, Kia-san, if I do provide you with a human, will you be able to put a karma mark on her? As Kia raised an eyebrow. At that, I do not want to do it. I do not like it. As Naruto smirked, trust me when I say it. No one is going to miss that person and is not exactly a good person. If anything, he's going to be a curse to a whole nation and cause a lot of problem. In a manner, you will be helping me and repaying this whole thing to me as well. As Kia was thinking for some time, well, it was a choice between her dying and living. And as much as she not like killing, she was a Otsutsuki. She has helped destroying planets, so it was not too bad. So simply nodded. With that, Naruto vanished from her eyes as she was wondering if he has left her. And after 10 seconds, Naruto has appeared with the unconscious form of the Fire Daimyo daughter as Naruto had a smile on his face. Well, he was a genius, he knew that, as he patted himself on his forehead. As Naruto looked towards her, well, here's the person. Put your karma mark on her. As Kia looked towards him for some second, but nodded nonetheless as she put her hand on the princess, and just like that, as her body disintegrated, as karma mark has appeared in the hand of the princess, and after some time, her eyes snapped open as she looked towards her hand, as she said, "Well, Naruto-san, I was not expecting to take over this body this quickly. It seemed that this body was pretty weak." As Naruto simply shrugged. Don't worry, your chakra will fill it up and you will get stronger with the time. I know that. I can already sense your power increasing. But anyways, I wanted you to take over the body as soon as possible. It will save me a lot of trouble. As Kia looked towards him for some time as she had a small blush on her face but nodded nonetheless. As Naruto looked towards her and started to explain the plan how she can actually repay him and how the who this person actually was, as Kia was surprised but nodded nonetheless. This will help her to avoid from the other Otsutsukis as well. So who was she to deny it? And this was the princess body who in which she was in. She also had the memory of this person and she was pretty horrible. And as well as the small crush she had on this Naruto person, as it seemed that this world was pretty interesting. As she nodded nonetheless and decided to go back to the Fire Daimyo to play her role as a loving daughter until the Fire Daimyo, well, for the lack of the better word, say goodbye to the world. And she will take over as a ruler. So, yeah, there was nothing for her to lose. So, she will agree to that for now, as she decided to leave through a small portal as her powers were coming back, while on the other hand, Naruto had a smirk on his face that will take care of much things in the future as he vanishes from the area. And just like that, a day passes and it seemed that he was finally back in the academy. And now it was time for the team placement. It seemed that his siblings has healed up pretty good as he looked towards Menma and Naruko, who are now looking towards him with anger and hatred in their eyes, but with also a bit of fear as Naruto looked towards them as a sinister smile came to his face. This put a lot of fear in their heart as they look back towards each other. The memories of him breaking bones in their body coming to their mind as they shiver a little. As you can see, they started to look back towards Eruka, who has just arrived in the room, while inside of the Hokage office, all the Jonin senseis were present, as well as Jiraiya, Tsunade, as well as Kushina, and all the members were there and they were watching the new graduates, as but most of them had their eyes fixed on Naruto, as many of them wanted him as their Jonin sensei, but some of them to keep him as weak as possible, but some of them had genuine interest as they wanted to see, despite him being called so-called demon. They knew that how things were starting to change and how he was declared as a, you can say, accepted clan A for the both clans, as well as the whole situation with the council and about the law being removed, about, you can say, attacking him and, you can say, have no consequences. After all, he was a shinobi. Well, as far as the official reasoning go, they were pretty sure that the council has some hidden agenda as well, but anyways, they did not question it. But it seemed that things are changing in the village as they were looking toward the new graduates. As Naruto was simply sitting in his room, he already knew that some plan would be cooked up for him as soon as possible. As finally Aruka arrived, alright team, as he gave them a, you can say, speech which I seriously do not care about. But anyways, as he started on nose, alright, team 7 is going to be Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, Naruko Uzumaki Namikaze, and finally as Sasuke Uchiha. At this, there were several complaints about how it was an overpowered team or something like that, and some of them were even dubbing it the strongest team, despite seeing that how Naruto had defeated all three members of the team single-handedly. As at this, you can say Sasuke was glaring towards Naruto. He wanted to defeat Menma for such a long time, but yet that loser has not defeated not only him but also Myanmar and Morocco at the same time. He decided not to believe it or thinking that it was a fluke and nothing more than that, and not wanting to believe that the dead loss and loser was greater than him and Uchiha an elite, and just like his father told him he was. And after that, you can say Naruto simply looked towards them, not even interested. After all, he has defeated all of them, and they were pretty weak in his eyes. So yeah, they were lucky enough that he does not Hakai them right here and right now. As he simply looked towards the other teams, as finally, as Aruka arrives, alright, Team 12 is going to be Naruto, Uzumaki, Namikaze. At this, everyone ears picked up sigh. At this, many of them were confused who they were talking about. And finally, we have the last member, Sakura Haruno. Naruto felt like destroying this whole academy, as well as especially that Uruka person and whoever put this team together, and whoever brought the paper, and whoever was present in the whole damn village, as he knew about that damn fangirl, especially her screeching habit. She was lucky that Naruto did not simply erase her. Maybe a small accident could happen in any mission, right? As Naruto was already making plans to get rid of that pink hair annoyance. As he looked towards, as she was already screeching that how she should be in the team of Sasuke and not with that loser and dead loss or things like that. As Naruto seriously did not care about her, but she was damn annoying. And to think that at one point he had a small crush on her, he felt, you can say, disgusted even with himself at that point. As Iruka finally announces that while in the whole room, as Jiraiya had a small smirk on his face, he was the one who suggested that how Naruto should make connections and Naruto once had a crush on Sakura and she should be put in his team. Well, to be honest, he just wanted to annoy him. And Minato agreed with that, thinking that it could be a great idea. And how he will work with her and not have some relationship. After all, he was already betrothed to the Fire Daimyo daughter. As news was already spreading in the whole village, as many of them were now thinking what will happen if he were to marry the Fire Daimyo daughter. Many shinobis were already making plans to get rid of him or try to avoid it or something like that. Maybe try to change the mind of the Fire Daimyo. They cannot have the demon as their Fire Daimyo in the future, right? As the thought in their mind. But on the other hand, Naruto simply sighed. He had no other choice anymore. As maybe in the future he will have some small accident place for Sakura. Yeah, that seemed like a bright idea. But who was this Sai person? As he looked towards the guy, no emotion was coming from him. Well, a little bit, but most of it was suppressed for some reason. He has seen these shinobis like that. Huh, he remembered it. As that crony who had multiple chakra signatures on his body always had these cronies around them, and whenever he was walking around the village, and he was always looking towards him weirdly. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, it seemed that he would have to keep an eye on these cronies. As he nodded at that, finally, after some time, the Jonin sensei started to appear, and Naruto seriously felt like destroying something when Kushina Uzumaki arrived claiming to be the sensei of his team, as Naruto wanted to punch a hole through the wall and destroy this whole damn academy. The whole day was bad, and finally, he was sitting on the, you can say, the academy's rooftop. It seemed that Kushina has decided to be a co-sensei with his sensei Yamato, but mostly for, you can say, to keep an eye on him. It seemed that it was a bright idea, and Kushina's reasoning was that now Naruto was a Uzumaki heir and he should be taught the sailing arts or some bullshit like that and proper manners or something like it. As Naruto seriously wanted to hurt something, but at least that Yamato person was here, as he was wondering why she was not with Menma and Naruto trying to teach him something about Kyuubi's chakra or some bullshit like that. But it seems that Jiraiya has decided to take over the training of Menma and Naruto, as well as Kakashi and Kushina will help them occasionally, as well as the whole team bonding and together practice of multiple teams together just to annoy Naruto even further. As Naruto sighed at that, and now he was at the rooftop with this Yamato person as well as Kushina Uzumaki. As Kushina decided to speak up, well, you guys already know who I am, and I am a co-sensei to this team. I will help you occasionally. Well, I have my other Jonin duties as well, and your main sensei is going to be Yamato here. As Yamato nodded at that, well, let us introduce ourselves. As Kushina speak out, my name is Kushina Uzumaki. I love my family and my children's and my husband and the village of course and ramen. As Naruto simply zoned her out, as she went on to, you can say, put out her likes and finally dislikes about the whole things and the whole, and one day become a Hokage or something like that. She said, but Naruto simply ignored her, as he even destroyed the air which was coming from the, you can say, to his ear with the voice of her, just not to wanted to hear her bullshit. And finally, Yamato speak up as he told them about his likes and goals to become the Ambu General or something like that. And finally, the whole introduction was off as Naruto seriously wanted to destroy something when the screeching voice of Sakura finally went to his ear, even his destruction energy, as he had to destroy a large portion of the air which was coming from her mouth so that he could tame down the volume of her voice. And finally, you can say, Sai said something about liking the village and protecting it. Definitely a weirdo. As Naruto looked towards them, as all of them were now looking towards Naruto, as Naruto looked towards them blankly. Well, my name is Naruto. My likes, well, that is a secret. My dislikes. I hate benches, while on the other hand, I like strong opponents, and weakness is definitely something I hate. At this, everyone was looking towards Naruto as Yamato was judging Naruto, wondering who you can say what this kid actually was, while on the other hand, Kushina was wondering what she should teach him. After all, he is now the heir for the moment. After all, Jiraiya and Minato has upped the training of both Menma and Naruto, and she has even started to teach them about the sealing arts, about how to subdue an opponent who is stronger than you, and even teaching them about the Haraishin as well. While mainly Kushina is here to teach Naruto manners and how he should act with dignity. And when Menma and Naruto will once again become the heir, they have decided to put Naruto into the side branch of both, you can say, Namikaze clan, so that he can serve his siblings for the greater purpose when the time comes. And this will show, and when he will marry with the fire daimyo daughter, that will bring the Namikaze and Uzumaki clan to the greater heights even further, and Menma and Ruko would be the clan heads, and Naruto would be a side member, as well as a member of the royal family. That will bring the prestige and authority of the Namikaze and Uzumaki clan in the fire daimyo court as well. And that was the perfect plan, bring by Menma and Naruko, and she was mainly here to teach Naruto manners and how he should respect the authority. She knows that what happened in the past was bad for Naruto, but he has to accept that it was for the good of the village and move on. And when the time comes, he should accept the authority of his betters, as she nodded in her head. While on the other hand, Naruto could easily see past her as she was nothing to him, honestly, and he was more than sure about why she was here to mainly keep an eye on him as well as his techniques and teach it to Menma and Naruto when the time comes. And that special, you can say, training sessions would also be for that, but he simply scoffed at that inwardly, as you can say. Sakura was once again screeching something about being with Sasuke-kun's team or something like that. Naruto simply destroyed all the air that was coming to his hair, not wanting to hear her screeching. As Yamato finally speak up, alright then, you guys are not team just yet. You guys have to pass a test tomorrow, so come to the training ground 12 and do not eat food. As after saying that, he and Kushina sunshine away. As Arthur nodded as he vanished away as well, not wanting to deal with these two buffoons, as Sakura once again looked toward the direction where he was, and once again she screeched as Naruto had to destroy the air once again, as he simply could not believe it from the, you can say, how long of a distance her screeching could actually come. He was wondering if that was not a Gegen guy or something like that. As Sai also went off to report to Danzo Sama about the behavior of one Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. They have to keep an eye on him. Yes, he nodded at that as Naruto sighed. He really wanted to destroy something. As while on the other hand, you can say Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kushina, and you can say Yamato has arrived in the whole room as Yamato gave his report about his new team as well as how they are going to test him tomorrow as Yamato went off. As Minato looked towards Kushina, as Kushina nodded, well, Minato, it was just the first day. Tomorrow we will see about his skills as well. What he's truly hiding from us, as Minato nodded. Kushina, you have to keep an eye on him, and when the time comes, they will have another match, and I will be training Menma and Naruto about the secret arts as well as the sealing jutsu. If words come to words, Menma and Naruto should be able to seal off his chakra, and then we'll be able to defeat him. We will have to teach him about the manners as well, when he will become a side member of the Namikaze clan and marry the Fire Daimyo daughter, then we will have Menma Naruko will have authority over Naruto, and by doing that, we will have authority over the Fire Daimyo court as well. This is a mission, you cannot fail it, Kushina. As Kushina nodded at that, do not worry about it, Minato-kun. I know what is good for the Konoha, and Naruto is not fit to be the heir. As Jiraiya nodded at that, I'm glad, Kushina, you sighed our way. As Kushina nodded at that, as she went off, as Minato looked toward Jiraiya, well, Jiraiya, what about the training regime of Menma and Naruko? As Jiraiya explained about the future plan, about the toad training, as well as the summoning of the toads, something like toads. So, We all know about Jiraiya, so who cares? Anyways, while on the other hand, Naruto has appeared in the secluded area and a portal appeared in front of him, came out the Kia Otsutsuki as she was in the form of the whole, you can say, princess, as she gave a smile to Naruto as Naruto looked towards her. As he looked towards her weird behavior, but anyways, he simply shrugged it off. So, what is the report in the Fire Daimyo capital? As she gave the report about her changed behavior, also got some suspicion, but they simply dismissed it, thinking that she's changing because of her, you can say, soon to come wedding or something like that. And she did not care much about it, and how she has decided to help the citizens as well. Not the truly did not care about it, but she can help whoever she wants. As Naruto simply nodded at that, they have some chat, and after that, Naruto decided to leave when she started to bother him about his new powers and what it actually was and things like that. Naruto did not care much about it. As he finally appeared in his mind's cave to see the gigantic form of the new Juubi. As Juubi looked towards Naruto-sama, as Naruto looked towards him, well, Kurama, what new powers you have gained through this transformation of yours, if I must say. As Kurama smirked, well, if I must say, my lord, I have the chakra equivalent of at least 3 planets, that is, including this one. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, that was damn impressive as it nodded at that and one new abilities, as Kurama explained about his new abilities to control even the time and you can say jump through dimensions and through Naruto's correct connection, he's able to do that as well and heal anyone. Now that was one ability Naruto wanted. His destruction energy was extensive in use as by demonstrating even destroying the air and stopping someone's voice to that extent, but healing someone was definitely not one of his, you can say, energies uses. He can heal himself but not someone else, so that was a good thing for him. And jumping through dimensions, well, if he really put his mind to it, he can use his destruction energy for that as well. But this is an easy way. So yeah, maybe next time he will eat that fruit as well. As by thinking that, as he looked towards Kurama, tell me Kurama, do you think that you can sense the presence of this so-called god tree? As Kurama closes his eyes. Well, if I must say, my lord, I can do that if I must focus a bit on it. As Naruto nodded at that, then tell me the where it is, because I want to eat a fruit as well. I want to see how it will affect my destruction energy. As Kurama looked towards him for some time but nodded nonetheless. He already knew about the power of his lord and he did not even dare to think even for a second that he has become superior to his lord, because even with all of his energy he could feel that the depth of the power that Naruto possessed, it was something else. As Naruto nodded at that, as he decided to go back to the village for now. After all, in the future, he will have some things to play with soon enough. So yeah guys, here I will leave this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next part, please tell me in the comment section if you like it or not. And for the next part, give me some ideas if you guys have some. So yeah guys, see you in the next part, hopefully. So yeah, peace.